Bien, ahora sí está Bernd, así que Bernd es experto senior de la Asociación Mundial sobre Seguridad Social. Los invito a ponerse el traductor, quienes así lo deseen. Bernd, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, bon dia. So let me switch to English. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yes, I can hear you.
Ok, están escuchando ya. Te dejo
Okay.
con el auditorio.
Okay, so can you see my slides? Hello? Yes, okay. All right, so well, I work for the International Social Security Association, ISA. We are based in Europe, in Geneva, and basically we are an organization that deals with social security. So you might wonder, like, what has social security to do with the construction sector? And I can tell you, and I can assure you quite a lot, because you have workers, and workers need to be insured. And they suffer accidents. So who pays for the accident once it has happened? And you have usually ministries who deal, or maybe labor inspectorates who are trying to reduce the risks by doing on-site visits. You have ministries who do policies. You have workers and employers organizations who also try to do their best. And then you also have Social Security, who is trying to reduce the risks so that later on we avoid an early pension, for example, and we try to ensure that people can stay in employment for as long as possible. So we are a UN organization. Basically, we are connected to the International Labour Organization. And we were created by the ILO, by the International Labour Organization, in 1927. But workers, employers, and the governments alone could not cover social security. So they said, we need another organization who actually deals with everything that is, collection, contribution, and the exchange from accident insurance to pension to unemployment. So this is our role. And of course, today we only talk about anything related to prevention. So we have a very, very special network of over 330 members. And these members, they all cover various areas of economic activity. So you have, as you can see on the slide, also the construction industry. And together with all these sections who work also at international level, we have created the topic that I would like to present to you today. And this is Vision Zero. Vision Zero is basically a little bit of a provocative statement, because we say that all occupational accidents are preventable. Now, is this possible? In theory, yes. In practice, no, because there's always a risk that remains that somebody has an accident. But by putting it out there into the world, and by saying, yes, we can manage this, we already create a positive mindset, and we create a much, much stronger participatory approach, so that everyone is actually working towards the goal of zero. So zero occupational accidents, zero harm, zero occupational diseases. So it is the process that matters more than actually the target of zero. And by this, we hope to create a transformation at work, so that every worker who is actually climbing up on a scaffolding knows that there is a risk and that he could actually fall, slip, trip, or even fall down from the scaffolding. And of course, we try to avoid that. And like this, we try to create a culture of prevention, where we look at every process, which is not only the safety of workers, but also their health and their well-being. So this program is very broad. It works basically for everyone. It works for a construction company. You can implement, I'll come to that later, you can implement these 7 golden rules that we have set up. And it also works for ministries, because they can create a policy based on that. They can create a strategy on that. And it also works for a social security institution that actually insures the workers in case of an occupational accident or disease. So what is Vision Zero really? And what are these 7 golden rules? 7 golden rules are nothing new, really, but we start with leadership, that when you are leading a company, you should express your interest in safety and health, because when you pay attention to occupational safety and health in your company, the workers will also pay attention. And that has a positive effect, so it drizzles down. And I can give you an example. A company in England is the biggest electricity company in England, Thames Water. They have the leader, actually, the manager, the top manager always goes to the work sites, visits the work sites, and gives every employee a card where it says that every employee has the right to stop the work at any moment if the worker sees that there is a potential risk for life or a risk to have an accident. So this is one example of leadership. And so these 7 golden rules, and they're here actually identified in Spanish, they range from risk assessments to machine and system safety, to having better qualifications, all the way to the participation of everyone to create a better safety and health culture. So the reason I present this to you is not because it's just any kind of concept that somebody has identified, but we have promoted this and it has actually become a global movement. We have over 16,000 companies and organizations that have signed up for this idea of Vision Zero. Many of them have implemented it at their workplaces. And here we have now translated this Vision Zero guide in already 15 languages. It exists in Spanish. You can download it from the website. If you write into Google Vision Zero, it should pop up. But if not, it's visionzero.global. And from there, all the materials, they're available for free. And this guide is really, it's like a questionnaire. So you can see how things look in your enterprise. And you can say, okay, 7 golden rules. Okay, on leadership, how am I doing? Is this correct? Am I actually showing a good example to the workers? When it comes to risk assessment, am I taking the right measures? And so it's just a checklist. And later on, you actually have a first result, which shows you whether your company is fit for having 0 accidents and occupational diseases, in theory. Okay, in theory, because it is clear an accident can always happen. So we have other publications. There is, we have developed proactive leading indicators. This is kind of a further development of this guide. It's a benchmarking tool where you can compare yourself with other companies who also do this exercise, and you can actually see on a grid how good you are in the area of safety, health, and well-being. So we have identified 14 indicators that will predict the positive impact that your company culture has on safety, health, and well-being. And also this is available for download for everyone, and it's also available in Spanish. So these are all free tools for companies and also for consultants. Like, you know, we don't want any money. We do that because we believe that we should really promote safety and health wherever we can. And for this, we need your participation as well. So everybody who can kind of become an advocate of Vision Zero, and can basically raise the flag and promote this idea. So besides the leading indicators, we also have developed training materials. So if you are a safety and health trainer, you can team up with our partner, that's IOSH. It's an international occupational safety and health charity that runs training courses, and you can become accredited through them to then run Vision Zero courses. And basically, we don't really need you to report to us what you are doing. We just trust that once you are accredited and you have the professionalism to run these courses, you know, you would actually also use the 7 golden rules to promote the ideas of safety and health. Also, you can find information on that on our website, visionzero.global. So Vision Zero has a couple of elements that are very, very important. And it's not that they have not been there before, but we would like to emphasize exactly that the commitment of everyone is key. So it is the commitment of leaders, of CEOs, but it's also the participation of every worker to understand that every worker is responsible for their part of safety and health, because they work, so they're exposed to risks, and they also understand the risks often much better than people who are outside. So very often they are the ones who can tell everyone where the risks are and help them to prevent them. So we call that an integrated approach, where everybody is participating and where everybody is not only looking at avoiding accidents, but also at avoiding occupational diseases and promoting well-being. I can show you that on one slide. This is basically taken from an article from the authors who have also developed our leading indicators brochure. And they have compared the Vision Zero approach to how occupational safety and health was done in the last maybe 20 years. Because when you look back, safety and health was like something that needed to be controlled. So it was a top-down approach where a labor inspectorate came and said, okay, well, we want to control your risks, or where a company consultant came and said, well, you have to control this. So, you know, put some, for example, some special guarding around a machine so that that risk does not exist anymore. And instead of controlling, we want everybody to commit to improvement. And instead of having a goal of saying we don't want an accident today, we say that safety and health is a process where everyone has to understand it, and through a gradual improvement, we will get better and better. We have this participatory approach, which basically means that occupational safety and health is owned by everyone. Here in the middle of this slide, you see it, OSH is owned by all. And not only is the management responsible for safety and health, but everyone. And so we don't want to just measure injuries and illnesses, but we actually want to build on good practices and want to improve wherever we can. We don't understand OSH as a cost, because 20 years ago, employers often asked, what? Now I have to invest, now I have to spend more money on safety jackets and on scaffolding. I could use a ladder. Now everybody's requiring to put up a scaffolding that's so costly. Now we believe that occupational safety and health is an investment in the future of the company, investment in the people. And the ISA has also published a report on the economic benefits of investing into prevention. And what we found through our international study is that basically the return on investment in prevention measures for a company is about, if you invest $1, it's about $2.2 of potential investment that you can get. So all in all, Vision Zero is nothing new, but it is a new message. It's a more provocative message to say, yes, we can really achieve less accidents if everybody is part of that. And the 7 golden rules are rather easy to remember, and they're easy to communicate. And we have had many workshops all over the world where workers got together, discussed the 7 golden rules, and would then basically see what can be improved at their workplaces. So the presentation just before mine showed a lot of innovation through 3D animations and virtual tours. And for us, innovation means basically to provide something new, a new service, new goods, or to provide a new value and to improve what is already there. And so we try to do that for occupational safety and health with these tools that have emerged in Vision Zero. We have had, I must guess, but I would say over 50 campaigns at national level. We have promoted company cultures when we worked with a couple of companies who have developed their own Vision Zero programs. Some are not called Vision Zero, some might be called Zero Harm or Target Zero or whatever. We have ambassadors. We have, right now, we have one ambassador who's in space. It's an astronaut who launched Vision Zero. Right now, he's actually in space, taking a crew for the first private mission to the European Space Station. His name is Michael Lopez, and he's an American astronaut. But we also have social media, logos, videos, songs. All of this was produced by partners who liked that campaign so much that they said, okay, we do it, we use it for our own companies or for our own national events. And yeah, as I said earlier, we have now over 16,000 supporters who join this. So just to give you some examples, here you see On the top right, you see the Vision Zero bird. It's a logo that was developed by Thailand. In the top middle, you see two characters, two Vision Zero characters who always make mistakes to teach about safety and health. This was developed by Pakistan. It's a national campaign. And then in the middle, you see Napo. That's a European comic character. And Napo explains all the 7 golden rules. Here you see rule number 4 to ensure a safe and healthy system. And it's always a little bit funny how he works. And it's Napo is a little bit like a child making mistakes. And like this, he tries to teach everyone how to improve safety and health. On the left, you see a real Napo holding up the 7 Golden Rules brochure next to me. Actually, this was the Vision Zero launch in Cyprus. But we also have Africa. Africa has developed the Vision Zero song, a campaign in Zambia, which was then in the main newspaper, the Daily Mail. Poland has developed the Vision Zero rap. So like we have a lot of promotional materials, and all these materials, they were produced just inspired by these 7 golden rules and what people do with it. So, you know, every organization has adapted it to their culture. Every company has adapted it to their own culture and has therefore used this, and they became creative with it. In Asia, here maybe you see this bus. It's a public transport bus, and you see in the middle the Vision Zero logo. They launched a public campaign all over Malaysia to reduce occupational safety and health accidents. This is just the health promotion and prevention plan. They have set up a total, a very ambitious strategy until 2030 to try to reduce occupational accidents. They're setting up a Vision Zero secretariat, etc., etc. So the sky is the limit. You can do a lot of things, and you can combine it with your already existing prevention programs. So the European Union has adopted our Vision Zero approach for fatal accidents, and now in their latest EU accidents in the European Union to 0. So this shows that Vision Zero is not only a campaign, but it really has become a strategy, and more companies are taking onto it. So I hope that this will also inspire Latin America in some way, because there are already Vision Zero initiatives, but not that many. Here you see an example of a company. You see this red arrow and posters that they put up into their production work sites. They produce footballs, and so then they hung up the posters of the 7 golden rules in all their production sites, so that all the workers are aware of trying to prevent accidents at any time. And they also did additional things like providing incentives to workers who come by motorbike if they wear helmets. Like, they're not allowed to enter the work site if they don't wear helmets, but the company has also given, I don't know, a subsidy to buy a helmet. Yeah. So basically, they're trying to improve safety and health also while going to work and while going home. So this is it. 7 golden rules that can easily be implemented. It covers all the areas that should be covered by prevention culture. So it's leadership, number 1, hazards, number 2, setting targets, number 3, having a safe system with which you can operate at work, then taking into account all the technological advancements, then building up competence, and then looking after people and giving people the chance to participate. And Vision Zero right now is looking at safety, health, and well-being. So safety, I believe, is pretty well covered because this is something that everybody understands. Health at work is already much more complicated because some people, they suffer from an illness and it's not health work related. So, but the workplace should accommodate and try to be as healthy as possible, if this is possible at all. And last but not least, well-being. This is really like the latest, but we had Corona. We all had to work from home. We all were under stress because we could not earn the money that we wanted to earn. And especially when working from home in this teleworking environment, a lot of psychosocial issues emerged. So we are now also looking into that, trying to actually create a guide for well-being so that, to suggest what a workplace can do so that workers, feel better. But it's always clear that the employer does not have 100% responsibility for a person to feel well, because after all, it's the person who also needs to look after their well-being and after their body. But whatever can be done at the workplace, it is our belief it should be done so that Vision Zero can be properly implemented, because a person who is healthy, who feels good, is also a productive person and is also a proactive person and will therefore hopefully help avoid accidents at work. Vision Zero can be even expanded. It can go out of the realm of safety, health, and well-being. So on the top right, you see safety, health, and well-being. But then if you go down, you see road safety. And that concept of Vision Zero emerged from Sweden and Norway, from a road safety idea where they said we should have zero accidents on the roads. And it can be expanded in the area of public health, into the private life, because you have work-life balance. And then you can also say, well, we want actually zero emissions, we want a healthy environment. We want to have a working environment that is also good for our environment in which we live. So we are trying to expand the Vision Zero concept so that we reach more people, but it will always emerge from work, and we try to reach as many people as possible, try to win as many as possible, and I hope that this little presentation has inspired you too. You can always visit our website, visionsero.global. You can also go on the website of the ISA, of the International Social Security Association, and you will find a lot of interesting information. I believe we even have a Vision Zero guide for construction that was done by our prevention section on construction. And with this, I will leave you. I thank you very much that you've given me the time to present to you today. Gracias.
Gracias, Bernd, por la presentación. Sin duda que es inspirador. La intención que tenemos de este congreso es que sirva como un punto de ancla para lo que es la visión cero, que tanto se está manejando a nivel internacional y que en definitiva no podemos quedar por fuera. Seguramente nos estemos contactando contigo luego, agradecerte y en concreto las consultas, como siempre, se las hacemos llegar después directamente a Bernd. Gracias.